Do we still scare children into good behavior with boogeyman stories? I personally hope not, but since it is Monster Under Your Bed season, let's look at a few local boogeymen. Fucked up scary tales with Liz. Woo! Our first local boogeyman hails from the Amazon River. And shout out to friend and follower and patron Igor for making me aware of this one. It's a creature that comes from one of the ocean's most terrifying animals. The Amazon River dolphin, sometimes known as the pink river dolphin, and in some folklore known as the Boto-Man. Legend goes that Boto dolphins are shapeshifters. During the day, when they pop out of the surface, this is that adorable mug that you see. But come dark, they walk out of the river in the guise of man, wearing white suits and white hats, looking something like, I don't know, this guy, or maybe this guy. I don't know, maybe this guy. Whatever their exact appearance, they spend their time seducing local women, generally knocking them up and then disappearing. Who'd have thought, but your pink river dolphin is a bit of a fuckboy. In some places, the lore was so strong that if a strange man came into town, he'd have to take off his hat to show that he didn't have a blowhole. There's a joke in there somewhere. Okay, now some serious talk. This is a great article from The Atlantic by Sushma Subramanian. It discusses the Boto-Man legend as it reflects the horrifying legacy of sexual violence that the women of Brazil have faced for a long time. Because when you think about it, the Boto-Man can be a very convenient myth. The Boto-Man got her pregnant protects the man in the family who took advantage. On the flip side, it could protect the girl who's been left alone in the family way. Further, the white suit and white hat that the Boto-Man is said to wear is sometimes regarded as a reflection of white colonialists who, of course, enacted much of this violence against local women. But how did this poor animal even get this terrible reputation in the first place? While they can be an aggressive animal, this pink tone is often seen on males, and it comes from fighting each other and the injuries sustained there. And apparently the pinker you are, the more attractive you are to your mate, so as you can see, the Amazon River dolphin is another species that suffers from toxic masculinity. But unfortunately, it really looks like this legend has exacerbated ill will towards this animal. Let's go to the beautiful pine lands, or pine barrens, of New Jersey, where tales of the Jersey Devil originate. Fucked up scary tales with Liz. Ooh. The Jersey Devil is a very wonky looking cryptid. He's kinda cute though. He's got the head of a horse, he's got those big bat-like wings, he's got hooved feet, that forked tail hanging down there. Its legends can be traced back to the 18th century. It was originally called the Leeds Devil more commonly, and it got its moniker the Jersey Devil in the 20th century. Accounts of mysteriously slain livestock and weird footprints and seeing winged creatures are scattered all the way up through the mid-20th century. But during 1 week of January 1909, there were so many sightings reported in newspapers that schools and businesses were closing from the mass hysteria. Now, the Jersey Devil has a lot of historical context. In fact, it's a very big folklore, and you're probably going to learn more in the comments from people adding on to this who are very familiar with it. I'm going to start with the Ben Franklin connection. See, Franklin had a big ol' feud with the Leeds family of New Jersey, particularly when its patriarch, Daniel, decided to start publishing an almanac, and he dared to do it along the same time as old Benny Boy's almanac. Daniel's son, Titan, picked up the family trade, and the Leeds family had long been associated with the occult and mysticism because of their interest in it, and they would publish astrological things in their almanac. Franklin stoked this rumor by publishing a satirical death prediction for Titan Leeds. This really pissed off Titan, but Franklin committed hard to the bit, referring to Titan as a ghost after his predicted death date, which did not happen. And it's pretty fucking good burn to just pretend your enemy's dead. Now, the Leeds family's reputation became so tied to the occult and the devil that the popular folklore origin of the Jersey Devil is that it was birthed of a woman named Mother Leeds, Mother Leeds became pregnant with her 13th child, and she was so fucking exasperated, she was like, "Curse this fucking baby, I'm tired!" And cursed it was. It was born as a baby, but then transformed in front of everyone into the Jersey Devil. And it flew away, beating everyone with its tail as it went. That's a mood. Oh my god, I don't think I've said "that's a mood" in 2 years. That's a mood. Now, another factor of New Jersey history that could have led to the Jersey Devil stories is its home, the Pine Barrens or Pinelands. This is an area of Jersey that has a lot of ghost and ghoul stories, although the Jersey Devil is really the only menacing one that I've read. Most of them are nice spirits. And even though you can see from these photos that this is a gorgeous natural reserve these days, way back when, it was kind of uninhabitable land, so the people that did live there were mainly outcasts of the community. Won't surprise you to note that people look down on the folks of the Pinelands. In fact, the Pinelands is notably tied to the eugenics movement when a study was basically falsified that folks who were raised in this region were genetically inferior. So it's not surprising that, like, a scary story and a cryptid thing like this grew out of that land. But the true villain of this whole Jersey Devils thing, to me, it is not Daniel Leeds, it is not Ben Franklin. The eugenics movement is definitely up there, but my true villain of this story was none other than Norman Jeffries, who was the publicist of Philadelphia's Arch Street Museum. Well, the museum wasn't doing so hot, so Norman here decided to buy a kangaroo from the circus, glue wings and talons on it to stage a live Jersey Devil exhibit. What a fucking dick, Norm. Maybe the New Jersey Devil was inside you all along. Now, I know everyone loves the Baba Yaga, but I gotta say, as far as iconic witches go, Black Annis of England is pretty hardcore. Fucked up scary tales with Liz. Ooh. Similar to Baba Yaga, Black Annis was a witch with very sharp nails and teeth who loved to eat people. Now, Black Annis didn't have a house that walked around on chicken legs, so Baba Yaga won there. But Black Annis has some pretty cool features. For one thing, she's bright blue. And she has a strong fashion sense because she literally wears the skins of the children she eats as a skirt. Now, you may say to me, that's fucking morbid, Liz. But if you're wearing a leather jacket and eating a hamburger while you say it to me, then I'm gonna say we have a real pot and kettle situation here. And since her skin is bright blue, sticking to nice neutral flesh tones is advisable. Skin is like jeans, it goes with everything. Now, one of Black Annis's nicknames is Cat Anna, but I do not know if she is literally a cat sometimes. I would like some verification of this, folklore people. But I also know that there was some kind of tradition way back in the day attached to her that involved sacrificing a cat, and I don't like that. For some reason, it was to celebrate winter's end. Now, I have a very weak but working theory. See, the folks of Leicestershire, where Black Annis has many of her legends, their cottages often had one small window, and this was to prevent Black Annis from reaching in and snatching your children. But I don't know, maybe if folks had opened up those windows a bit, had a little more sunshine, their seasonal depression wouldn't have been so great that they felt the need to sacrifice a cat at winter's end. I'm just saying, spring's fine, not worth catricide. Now, Leicestershire has a lot of Black Annis folklore, in particular Leicester Castle, which she may haunt. One notable tale is back in the 17th century, there was a siege on Leicester Castle by royalist troops and a subsequent massacre, and supposedly, as all of the bodies lay there, Black Annis clawed her way out of her lair beneath Leicester Castle to feast on the bodies. What can I say? She found the silver lining in that situation. Her folklore is really massive, her origins are debated. She's popped up in a lot of media, including DC Comics, where she's essentially a witchy Wolverine, it looks like. I don't know, I haven't read it. And the children of Leicestershire grew up with the phrase, "Watch what you're doing, or Black Annis is gonna get you. Pull it together, kid." Stop poking your brother, Jason, or Black Annis is gonna eat you with her long nails and teeth. Don't lean back in your chair like that, Molly, or Black Annis is gonna reach her long, weird arms into our single window and snatch you in the middle of the night. Stop pushing your sister, Leslie. The cat saw it. The cat could be Black Annis. I don't know. Could it be? Was she a cat? I mean, if she was and if she could be, your family cat could be a much scarier elf on the shelf. There is that joke that cats will eat your face if you die. That's Black Annis behavior. Anyway, that's it for my creepy creatures stories tonight. If you've enjoyed it and you want some more, my podcast this week that dropped on Patreon is Creature Feature, featuring several fairy tales and folk tales related to some of our most popular Halloween monsters. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you for the next fucked up scary tale.